The Galactic Empire had not lost a war in 3,000 years. Its banners flew above every known core world. Its anthem was programmed into the minds of newborn citizens, and its greatest warriors, engineered titans bred for war, marched in perfect cadence across every subjugated planet. No rebellion survived. No civilization stood twice against their might. When the High Council received reports of human activity expanding near Sol Sector, it was treated as a formality. The humans had long been labeled a Category 7 isolationist race, aggressive, erratic, and inconsequential. That label was never updated. No one thought to. Reports arrived sporadically from outer scouts. Small patrol ships had gone silent near the Oort boundary. Drones sent to investigate returned only static. Communications officers chalked it up to electromagnetic interference, or Sol's unique stellar conditions. No one suspected resistance. After all, humanity had not attended a galactic assembly in over 400 years. Their silence was interpreted as fear, not choice. The 13th Talon Legion was dispatched to the system without fanfare. Composed of over 800,000 soldiers, cyber psionics, and gravimetric artillery units, they were considered a war-ending force. The Talon commander issued no declaration of war. None was needed. The Empire's doctrine was simple: no second chances. Human colonies on Pluto, Mars, and Titan were wiped clean before even a single distress beacon could be fired. Orbital stations went dark, atmospheric processors went offline, and the red sands of Mars were left blackened by the energy pulses of the orbital cleansers. Earth, however, was curiously empty. Satellites hovered unused in ancient orbital patterns. Cities were powered down. No air traffic. No military installations visible from orbit. Scans showed infrastructure, but no heat signatures consistent with troop concentrations. It felt abandoned. The High Marshal on board the lead dreadnought scoffed. They ran, he said. They learned. The fleet broke atmosphere. Drop units descended on London, New York, Kyoto, and Moscow. The soldiers who exited the transports found streets empty, systems powered down, and the unnerving presence of silence. There were no corpses, no barricades, no resistance. Buildings were intact. Food and storage. Yet not a soul stirred. Empire analysts struggled to explain it. One theory suggested mass suicide. Another postulated species-wide stasis or cryogenic evacuation. Both were discarded when the first message arrived. It came not through comms, but on a rusted satellite from the 21st century, reactivated to full broadcast capacity and bouncing the signal through layers of defunct infrastructure no Empire AI could trace. It was a simple voice, masculine, unremarkable, distorted by age. Protocol 9A recognized. Reactivating contingency. God help them. Empire text dismissed it as ancient human gibberish. The High Marshal ignored it. 3 hours later, in the frozen Siberian expanse, the ground shook. Deep beneath the permafrost, vault doors groaned open. There were no lights, no fanfare, no alarms, just a silence and breath. A single man walked out of the underground chamber, shirtless, barefoot, eyes narrowed against the gray light. He had no insignia, no weapons, no guards. His name was recorded in only one surviving Terran database, codename. The stories that followed were not immediately believed. A forward scouting team disappeared near Irkutsk. Surveillance drones reported massive heat spikes and then went dead. Aero patrols circling the area saw only footprints. One commander sent an armored strike unit to investigate. The squad's final transmission was a scream, then static. Debrief footage showed nothing. The thermal signatures vanished, as if the squad had walked off reality itself. Word spread fast. Officers began to whisper the name. Some dismissed it as battlefield myth. Others reviewed pre-Empire human records and found no matches. An AI linguist noted had once been an ancient term for fury in a forgotten dialect. By day 3, the 13th Legion had lost 12% of its deployed forces, all within a 50-mile radius of eastern Russia. That night, the Empire broadcast a warning across all human territories: surrender or face planetary sterilization. There was no reply, not through official channels, at least Instead, dozens of hacked Imperial broadcast nodes lit up simultaneously. Each showed the same grainy footage. A single man walking calmly through snow. Flames rising behind him, body scattered without visible wounds. His face was expressionless. His pace never changed. The footage ended with coordinates. Imperial Command interpreted it as a trap. They accepted. A full mechanized division, supported by orbital artillery, surrounded the site, an old hydroelectric facility buried near Lake Baikal. They never reported back. Satellites went blind. Atmospheric sensors overloaded. When a recon team was sent in, all they found was ash and shattered armor, melted at the molecular level without visible combustion. Then came the dreams. Psionic operatives began reporting shared hallucinations. They saw a human face in darkness, a voice repeating one word, remember. Sleep cycles across the 13th Legion deteriorated. Soldiers began experiencing seizures. 2 dreadnought pilots tore out their own implants and jumped from their docking bays. The Empire increased its force posture. Reinforcements were requested. Permission to initiate planetary cleansing was denied. The Council wanted a victory, not genocide. They would get neither. By day 10, we had made contact with 12 separate units. None survived. The interactions were recorded by long-range drones. We're walking through bullets, not dodging but watching. Weapons melted in hands. Gravity reversed for seconds at a time. One tank imploded from within, its metal folding like paper. Audio logs captured a humming noise, untraceable, unidentifiable, harmonic. An autopsy of one of the few recovered bodies showed brain liquefaction, spontaneous bone calcification, and cellular collapse. It was impossible. The report was sealed. The medic who authored it defected and transmitted a single phrase to the Outer Rim. They sent one. Council interest turned to alarm. An emergency archive search uncovered a long classified report. Earth's final war before isolation. A century-long conflict fought without orbitals or kinetic strikes, but through single combat specialists. Biological anomalies. Experimental consciousness manipulation. None of it peer-reviewed. All of it hidden. What appeared in 3 separate battle records, Uniged unnamed. Once in 2134, once in 2188, and once in 2233. Each time, the war ended within hours. Each time, he vanished. Empire archivists suggested a clone project. Strategists theorized a mental weapon. Field units began refusing assignments in Sol Sector. One entire squad disabled their own dropship and requested court-martial rather than redeploy. On day 15, we entered orbit. No ship. Satellites tracked him standing on the upper atmosphere, unaided, as if gravity were optional. He remained there for 7 minutes. An orbital cruiser fired a warning shot. The cruiser collapsing on itself, mass condensed to the size of a coin. There was no explosion, just absence. The Empire called for full retreat. The High Marshal overruled the decision. He demanded retaliation. The Galactic Empire's silence regarding the loss of the 13th Talon Legion was deliberate. Internally, they blamed anomaly exposure, environmental failure, or classified weapons testing gone wrong. Externally, they denied anything had occurred. But across the Rim systems, across merchant networks and black site whisper channels, the truth began to spread in fragments. Entire regiments lost. Ships disintegrated mid-command. And one name, once obscure, now surged like wildfire. In response, the Empire didn't retreat. It adapted. The High Council activated Project Titanfall, an internal directive created to counteract the theoretical emergence of uncontrolled superspecies. It had been shelved for millennia due to cost, ethics, and a complete lack of necessity. Until now, they called in the Omega circuits. Enhanced operatives, surgically refined and biologically altered beyond anything legal within core systems. These weren't soldiers. They were weapons, and their mission was singular, subdue by any means necessary. 5 Omegas were dispatched. Each had single-handedly ended planetary-scale insurgencies. Their minds were AI-synced, reaction times measured in picoseconds, and combat protocols engineered to adapt in real time. Their strike craft entered Earth's orbit under full stealth. No planetary systems reacted. No satellites adjusted. Nothing seemed to acknowledge their arrival. They touched down in what once was a city called Chicago. Urban ruins. No visible hostiles. Heat scans detected only one humanoid presence, stationary, in the center of a sports stadium long abandoned. They surrounded the location and moved in. 17 seconds after contact, only one Omega remained. Her transmission was garbled, voice shaking. Something impossible for an enhanced. No patterns. He's not reacting to logic. He's not moving. He's watching like he knows. Then nothing. Her armor was later recovered in orbit. Empty. Untouched. The Empire escalated. They deployed the Black Flame Armada, a force not used since the score of rebellions. A fleet equipped with entropy torpedoes, anti-psionic distorters, and gravitic suppressors designed to crush planetary cores. Their admiral was not a politician. He was a pure tactician with a flawless victory record over 2 centuries. They did not reach Earth. Instead, the lead ship's navigation AI experienced a spontaneous inversion of its time lattice. It played its own death log backward before it even reached Sol. The entire armada, according to transit logs, exited hyperspace directly into a star that had never been on the chart. The system named itself Eclipse. No records, no exits, no return. It became clear to the inner circles of the Empire that this was no longer a military operation. It was an event, a phenomenon, a human phenomenon. Yet no science could explain him. No surveillance could follow him. No laws applied to him. He was not fighting them. He wasn't even resisting. He was responding. By day 30, panic gripped the outer colonies. Human sympathizers, long quiet, began open rebellion. Pirate fleets declared allegiance to Earth. In hushed tones, they spoke of vengeance delayed, of rage held in stasis, of a man who embodied war's memory. The Empire called for consultation with the archivists. They were not warriors. They were not even considered citizens. But they remembered, hidden deep within archive planets. They recorded every myth, rumor, and classified detail since before the Empire's unification. They were summoned under emergency directive. Their verdict was worse than any feared. He was not a man, not in the way the Empire understood men. He was what remained when humanity chose never to forget. He was memory, forged in grief, distilled through centuries of restraint and hardened by wars no one recorded. He did not represent humanity. He was humanity concentrated. The Council ordered Earth's complete destruction. They deployed the Starcore device, a singularity warhead capable of imploding a planetary system from within the quantum substrate. It had never been used. Using it required 6 grand signatures, the highest level of military authorization. It was signed within 2 hours. The warhead reached Earth. The detonation failed. Sensors recorded its activation. Then, silence. The device was gone, not detonated, not neutralized, simply absent. 2 minutes later, every screen in every Empire system went black. Across thousands of star systems, the same phrase appeared in dozens of ancient human languages. You do not understand what you've woken. Then came the second message. It was a list, not of threats, not of targets, a list of names, millions of them, Empire officials, strategists, scientists, captains, each one responsible for the subjugation of a world. Each one signed orders. Each name was real, and over the next 6 days, each name was confirmed dead. No violence, no wreckage, no battle. They simply ceased. Autopsies couldn't be conducted because bodies weren't found. Death did not arrive in traditional form. It came as removal. A planetary governor tried to flee. His ship's internal chronometer failed. He aged 400 years and 4 minutes. His crew watched as he turned to ash mid-sentence. The galaxy turned its eyes inward. For the first time in its long history, the Empire saw fear in its own people. Recruitment dropped. Border planets rejected Imperial presence. Civilian vessels changed course when passing near Sol. The term became slang for annihilation. The Empire retaliated with propaganda, accusing Earth of black hole weaponry, psychic terrorism, timeline manipulation. None of it stuck, because those who had seen him, those few who had survived, could not lie. They had not seen a human with power. They had seen power in human form. In desperation, the Council turned to the null choir. Outlaws, rogue physicists and consciousness fractalists exiled centuries ago for forbidden experiments on reality and perception. They were promised full pardon, limitless funding, and the backing of the Empire if they could unmake the human event. They accepted. They constructed the Interlocutor, a synthetic consciousness tethered to causality streams beyond linear time. Its only mission, find its origin and erase it. It traced Earth's ancient wars, mapped genetic timelines, linked every battlefield scar across history to one shared signature, a location. The Interlocutor deployed a reverse time strike. It reached Earth's past. It didn't return. In its place, the Empire received a file. A single image was standing on a battlefield centuries old, unchanged, untouched, staring at the sky. Beneath it, he waits because we waited. At this point, the Empire's inner structure fractured. Some factions demanded peace. Others demanded escalation. Some wanted to reclassify humanity not as hostile, but as sovereign apex threats beyond warfare. The Council did nothing. Wood did not attack. He did not speak, but his presence spread. Ships malfunctioned near Sol. Drones deployed to Earth fell dead on arrival. And still, humans sent nothing. No diplomats. No demands. Nothing except the silence. Except one small event. A single Terran capsule, unmarked, drifted into Empire space. It contained a handwritten letter. It read, "We only ever wanted to be left alone. But now that you've remembered us, we remember you." The Empire did not understand it, but every word felt like judgment, and judgment was still coming.